There are men in ancient Greek history who went from complete nobodies to the most influential figures in the world in a single day. Yet you have every resource, every tool, every self-improvement video available, and you're still the same person you were last year. The difference? One man figured this out when he lost everything overnight and walked out of a bookshop the same day as someone completely unrecognizable from the person who walked in. And I'm going to break down who he was, his exact method, and how you can use it right now to become unrecognizable. It was 334 BC when a merchant was born in the city of Citium. His name was Zeno, and from birth life was comfortable, successful family, thriving trade business, a future that looked completely mapped out, until a shipwreck took everything overnight, every possession, every plan, every version of who he thought he was going to be, gone in a single day. He washed up in Athens with nothing, broke, unknown, no plan. And instead of rebuilding what he had lost, he walked into a bookshop and picked up a book about Socrates, an ancient famous philosopher. And something in him completely shifted. He looked up from the book and asked the bookseller, "Where can I find men like this?" The bookseller pointed at the philosopher walking past outside. Zeno walked out and followed him. That was the day everything changed, not gradually, not over years of slow progress. In a single moment of decision. By 40, he had built Stoicism, the philosophy that shaped Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca, and almost every great mind that came after him. All of it starting from one shipwreck, and one bookshop, and one decision made on the worst day of his life. And this is where we go into his method. Zeno said most people are waiting for the right moment to become a different person. When things settle down, when they have more money, when life gets easier. He said there is no right moment. There is only the decision. The decision isn't about what you're going to do tomorrow or next week or next year. It's about who you are right now in this moment. Because the moment you decide who you are, really decide, not hope, not plan, not try, your behavior changes immediately to match it. Most people fail to transform because they tried to change their actions before changing their identity. They set alarms, make plans, build routines, and it lasts 3 days because the identity underneath is still the same person who doesn't wake up early, doesn't train, doesn't build. Zeno's method is identity first. Decide who you are completely before you do a single thing differently. He said, ask yourself one question. If I were already the person I want to become, what would I do in the next hour? Not tomorrow, the next hour. And then do exactly that. Not because 1 hour changes your life, because the man who acts like the person he wants to be for 1 hour is already becoming that person. And the next hour gets easier, and the one after that, until one day someone looks at you and doesn't recognize who you were. And to put this in reality, I was heavily bullied through high school, not overlooked, targeted. And I spent years shrinking, making myself smaller, trying not to be noticed. The day school ended, I made one decision. I was done being that person. I didn't have a plan, I didn't know exactly what I was going to do, I just decided completely, not halfway, that the person people had spent years walking over was gone. I started going to the gym every day, started working on a business, started acting like someone who was going somewhere even when nothing had changed yet. And 365 days later, a girl I barely knew stopped me and said, "You look completely different. What happened to you?" And I realized in that moment that the transformation hadn't happened over 365 days. It had happened on one day when I made the decision. The 365 days was just proof that the decision had been real. Because that's the difference between the people who actually change and the people who stay the same forever. Not talent, not resources, not timing. One decision made completely, with no version of the old self left as a backup plan. And thank you for watching. If you did enjoy, please subscribe so more people can see this.